Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, before we do begin, let us give a brief little review. In the last part, quite a number of things have happened. We had Deku. We also had Cass. Now, Deku, he had to take a bit of a second to look at himself. 2 years ago, Deku talked to Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor tried to be Superman. He made a clone of Superman. And whenever Deku went to go see him after breaking every bone in his body, Deku, he was possessed or controlled by Starotech. Batman put it on his neck, and Deku, he went about his day. He acted like that conversation never happened. Now, after that happened, Deku spent the next 2 years not only living his life as he would have, but also doing another bit of things. Now, eventually, whenever the Star Tech was taken off of Deku, him and the Justice League had a lot of time they could not account for. Deku specifically does not remember the last 2 years. And that does say quite a lot. Especially because in this amount of time, he's done quite a bit. He's earned trust. He's had a relationship with Cass, Wonder Girl. He's made more friends. I mean, his entire life for the last 2 years, none of it feels as if it ever happened to him. But now he's starting to get memories, starting to get dreams. And with the fact that now he knows that his friend Wally's dead, he wants to take more than just a second to himself. Kal-El is back. Yes. But Wally won't be coming back. Deku's well aware of that. There wasn't even a body. Now, with that being said, Deku, he talked to Cass. And Cass was quite alarmed. The two, they were not going to be breaking up, like she thought. Instead, they're going to be taking a bit of time to themselves. Deku specifically wanted to do this. And right now the Justice League, after trying to contact and radio into Young Justice, yeah, they hear about what's going on. Deku and Cass talked about how they were going to go out for a bit of a hike. That was last week. And there's no word on them today. So that's a bit concerning. Now, we do actually have Deku and Cass, who right now, the two are sitting at a diner and talking. And Deku is going over quite a few things. Last night he had that one dream. What dream? Um, I remembered a few of the things. Like what? We all went to the pier, the carnival. We played games a bit, talked about it, I guess. I mean, I remember that night. I also remembered. What was it? Um, it was something else. No, the Amazo. You remember the Amazo? Yeah, I do. I do. It was definitely an interesting piece of human creativity. Hmm? You believe that? I do actually, yeah. It's interesting though. I just didn't expect it. I mean, mimic the powers of the heroes? I'm just impressed, is all. You say that now, but I'm fairly certain that whenever you find out a lot of things that happen, you're gonna be a bit more impressed. You say that, yeah. Now, Deku go to sip his coffee. And right now, Wonder Girl gonna ask, so, it's been 7 days. Are they gonna go back? Or what? Now, Deku gonna sit down his mug. And right now he'll gonna think, yeah, that's right. It's day 7. Hmm. Um, Probably not yet. I, um, I sort of like doing this, I guess. What do you mean? Spending time with you like this? I mean, it's not ideal, but we're away from all the chaos. I mean, the team, they can handle anything that comes up, right? They've got Kara. They also got Tim, an Aqualad. So they also have Connor. What do you remember about Connor? Aggressive. He got mad easy. I can kind of relate, I guess. Don't really know though. With him and me, whenever I get angry, I try and hide it. When I get mad, I think I can hide it very well. But if it's just too much, I need to fight. Whenever it gets out of control like that, I don't know. I feel like I'm just seeing red again. Then again, that might just be my heat vision. Now, Kaz does stare at Deku, still a bit worried. Okay, yeah. Now, Kaz is going to try and explain. Him and Connor actually did become friends. We did. Yeah, I mean, the Amazo, it was a good idea. You remember the plan, right? Um, get angry, try and smash the creator, and whenever the Amazo tries to adapt to fight me, or no, was it trying to adapt to fight Connor? I took it out whenever it readapted. Well, yes and no. Hmm? What do you mean? We all worked together to fight it whenever it adapted. You and Kara, however, you had to work on a bit of a different wavelength. Right, right, there was Megon. Hmm, that does make more sense. Yeah, we all talked and worked together. Connor, though, was worried. I'm sure he was. He's not as... Not as what? He's not as powerful as me and Kara. His body. I've looked him over before. His cells. They are Kryptonian, but there's something off about them. Hmm? He's a clone, right? Yeah, he is, but that's not it. I'm noticing that his cells, they look young, but they are also looking a bit more human. I don't think he's fully Kryptonian. Really? Yeah. Explains the powers, explains why he doesn't fully have all of them, but he has some. I know he's still holding out to develop them, but maybe he won't develop powers. You're serious, right? I'm very serious. I hate to say it, but Connor, I don't think he's a clone exactly. He's artificially created, yes, but I don't think it was just Superman's cells he was created from. Now, Wonder Girl, she just stare at Deku, and Deku just try to explain, until the two, they do eventually go out of the diner and leave. Now, there actually is Batman. Batman? Yeah. Right now, Superman, he came talking to him. He wanted to talk to Deville. Maybe help him control his temper. 'Cause Kara, yeah, she told him that Deville left to go work off some steam. But whenever he tried to find Deville, he wasn't exactly on Earth. Now, Batman would try to express. Duville, he has gained emotional connections. Clark wanted him to do that, right? Hmm? Yeah, I did. Then Clark, you need to understand. Right now, what you've done, it's very hard to express. What you've done, Clark, is, in the best way of saying it, you've made him like you. like me. Clark, what you've done is given him friends, family, and he's more like me. What do you think, however, would happen if you hurt somebody close to him? Think about what I would do, Clark. I wouldn't kill them, but he would. And think about this as well. What have you done to people who've harmed your family? My family? But me and Lois, we've barely been married for a few months. I don't think anyone would harm her, let alone know about her. Clark, you're Superman. There's gonna be tasks and challenges. Even if you think Lois is safe, she may not be. I got that. But Jimmy and her, they should be fine. Now, right now, Clark, he does have a lot to think about. Right now, he would go to leave. He does need to check on Lois. Tonight is date night, of course. Now, there actually is Deku. Him and Cass, they do spend more time out here. They ride the rails. They go a bit all over. And right now, the two, they actually are hiking through a pile, through an area of forest. And Deku is going to step over a pile of leaves. Now, Deku would express to Cass, as he does go to step forwards, that, you know, trying to be powerless and be human, it's a bit weird. Hmm? You think so? Yeah. Um, how much of my past did I ever tell you about? Hmm? Your past? Well, you told me about the department and Waller. Really? Yeah. Then again, everybody knows. Now, Dick would turn to her. Everybody? Oh, yeah. Red Arrow. He was also affected by the Starro tech, but he was trying to find a mole. I mean, that's sort of how a lot of things were found out. I mean, Sportsmaster's Artemis's dad, and Artemis, she's not really, well, Green Arrow's niece. Right. And anything else? Oh, what is it? Magon isn't, she's not John's niece. Right. How did you know that one? Oh, I. I'm joking with you. I know. Now, they would turn to her and smile. Yeah, yeah, okay. Now, they're gonna still have a flash, and right now you're gonna have a memory. The same day they're talking about. Deku defended Magon. She. Yeah, she's a white Martian, but she's trying to be green. And Deku, he knew about this secret. Magon could have attacked him, gone for his brain, done something to his head to make him forget. But she didn't. In fact, somebody else knew as well. Superboy. Now, Deku, he does think about what's going on. And right now he actually would have another flash. Whenever he does see how Superboy and Miss Martian would act with each other. As right now Deku does see Wally's birthday. Wally was happy. He was excited. He was running around and talking about it. He had a whole cake to himself. And Deku, he remembered handing Wally something interesting. Wally, he was somebody who could always run around Earth. And Deku made him a bit of an offer. How about he gives him a piece of the stars? Deku, he gave Wally a piece of an asteroid. And Wally, he may not have believed it, but, well, it was also pretty cool. Especially because Deku, he made it into the shape of the Flash symbol. Now, Deku just remembered that day. And then he would go to someone smile before going to walk down the trail. Him and Cass, they have a lot to talk about. I mean, a lot to relive and relearn. And Deku, he's trying to enjoy this time. Now, there actually is where Deku and Cass, while they're walking, they would see a bear. And right now, whenever Deku and Cass do look at it, the bear is actually going to walk towards them. And Deku, he does actually somewhat turn to Cass, asking her if she's going to be the one who deals with it. And right now, she actually will go to step forwards. As whenever the bear does try to attack her, she'll go to grab directly at its arms. And the bear, whenever it does try to bite down to her shoulder, she'll go to headbutt it. Her hitting it in the nose, and the bear, whenever she does let it go, will go to run off. And Deku, he'll come to walk up, expressing about how the beast of the forest is no match for Cass. Now, she would talk about how it's not that big of a deal, and the two will continue to walk, eventually coming to a railroad track. Now, right now the two, they do have to pick a direction, and Deku, he would go to someone look up towards the sky and talk about it. Okay, let's see. That way's north. Now, Cass would watch Deku turn to his left and start to walk, expressing to her. Right now, the tracks, they head that way. And he's fairly certain that there is a river over that hill right there. Now, Cass is a bit confused, and Deku would try to explain. The area right here, the way it smells, I mean, it's just kind of a hunch. Besides, the river he saw earlier, he mapped it out. And if he's right, they're coming upstream. So this has got to be where that thing came from. Now, Cass is going to tell Deku. She doesn't believe him. And Deku will go to explain. As right now, whenever Deku is going to bolt off running, Cass will going to start running to catch up. Now, Deku would tell her that right now he's going to check and see if there is one. If she wants to try and beat him to it, then they're going to race. Besides, maybe it would be a good place to wait out the train. Now, Deku and Cass, they would run directly up and around the mountain. And the two, when they do finally hear it, Cass, she's a bit surprised. And Deku, yeah. Hunting and scavenging. Skills he was taught whenever he was younger. How to survive and how to navigate. Yeah, eating and all the other stuff may not have been good, but hey. He may not have done it, but he did learn it. Besides, if he ever does find himself powerless with a hostage, and the two need to survive, they may not know if he might need to eat or not. So hey, better to be safe than sorry. Now, Deku right now, he does go to walk forwards. Him going to bend down and drink from the stream. Now, Cass and Deku do sit here, and the two somewhat talk about it. It's a bit hot, but I mean, it feels good being back out here. Deku, him and Cass, they do stay by this little stream. And right now, they do actually decide to make a bit of camp by it. They can wait for a train. I mean, they'll hear it from a mile away. So hey, Deku and her, they just sit here. They make a bit of a fire, and Deku does have a few things in his mind. And right now there is, whenever it does turn to night. Deku, he's still laying awake. He's laying down on a blanket they bought. It feels strange being here. The planet, Earth. What he thought he had in store for himself, and what actually happened. What he has go through his mind, his training, the way he still feels, but the way he does think, the way he still is perceived, but the way he still does act. He wants to be a part of the heroes. He wants to be on their side. but he also does want to have control. He wants to at least do a few things that can better this world. But he's trying to do that now by being a hero? No. No, 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 no. Duville is a Zod. Duville is a soldier. He takes orders. He needs to do what's right. Protect people. Kill the bad guy. Now, Deku, he's been annoyed by that line of thinking. That little line of logic. Kill. Yes, he has murdered. Yes, he's killed tons of bad guys, but there's this feeling he has. He missed one bad guy. Whenever he was under red kryptonite, he almost murdered the Joker. The Joker, he wanted that man dead. A chaos clown. A chaotic piece of human filth. The Joker doesn't deserve to live. But Batman still allows it. Superman allows it. And him. He followed Clark's rule, and now he's a part of this. He could have killed the Joker right then and there. Stopped future crimes. The murders of possibly thousands of people. Now, Deku does have a glimpse in his mind. And right now he actually is standing there, talking to the Flash. And the Flash has tried to explain a few things. Now, Deku, he does listen to the conversation. And right now there is whenever morning does come around, and the two, they would go to hop on a train and get off at a diner nearby. Now, the two, they hopped off and walked in. And right now Deku, he does hear about quite a number of things that happen on the news. Yesterday afternoon, something happened that changed the world. Yesterday, something happened that harmed a lot of people. And right now we do actually cut back to 24 hours ago, where it was early in the morning. Tons of things were happening. Superman flew over Metropolis, the peaceful city that it was. The city that had the shining golden standard. Superman, a hero who's infallible. A hero who will always do the right thing. A hero who lost his world. Now, there actually was about an hour later, somewhere around noon, Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen, they went down to the docks for a story. But what they found waiting there wasn't what they expected. And right now Jimmy Olsen, he does lay there with a hole through his camera lens. And right now, he's dead. As Lois Lane, she was kidnapped by somebody. The Joker. Now, the Joker, he wants to play a little game with Superman. Maybe easy mode will be better. But hey, maybe this will also send bats over the edge. Batman, he can handle it. Kill all his Robins, he won't do anything. I mean, he got the one. And bats, he turned his back and bought a new one. I mean, it just says so much about Batman. But what about something that you can't replace? The life of a man's wife. And possibly even the life of his unborn child. Now, with that being said, Deku, he hears about what happens. And right now he's a bit disturbed. He's in shock. Metropolis was nuked. And apparently, one of the casualties was the reporter Lois Lane. Now, Deku is in shock. And right now him and Cass, they do decide to head back to the Justice League. Young Justice. They need to find out what happened. They were on the rails for 3 weeks. And these series of events, they could be disastrous. Kal-El. Deku, he's fairly certain that he knows what he might have lost. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. And have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.